Hi and welcome back to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. It is May the 25th, 2016, and I just want to show you my grapevine trellis that I put together. I did two of these, and I did the same thing for my blackberries a few years ago. But let me just take you through this simple operation. And I did it all by myself, so it was a little there were some points where I struggled a bit, but it would have been nice to have a second hand, but it is what it is. Anywho, start with just simple T-posts, one down here, one down there, okay? And then I just got some wire here, braided wire, galvanized and everything. And I got some clamps, 2 clamps for wire. So what I did was I ran the wire, started to wire it into this hole. I bent this back a little bit, bent it back so that I could feed this up through here. And then I fed it through, tied it down, came all the way down, right to the other end, ran it right down the back, down here. Okay, and then right to here, I bent this piece back, the metal piece back, opened up the hole so I could fit the wire through, ran it all the way down to the other end, where I have just a eye bolt, alright, put it in right there, and that's just really not even super tight, but once you get this hooked on there, it all pulls it together. I could only tighten the nut down so far and there was no more threads left. And then again, I put this turnbuckle on, hooked it onto the eye bolt here, and I backed this portion of it up, the left side. I backed that out almost all the way out of the turnbuckle, leaving this open right here. And then I fed the wire through the end of the turnbuckle, looped it back through, put it through these 2 clamps right here, pulled everything as tight as I could by hand, grabbed a pair of pliers and just yanking and pulling, and then once I got it as tight as I could with one arm, I took the ratchet and everything and tightened down the clamps with this one, got it as tight as I could, and then I took the turnbuckle and then I used that to tighten pull a little bit more tension on the wire to get it more sturdy and not so wobbly. And really that's all there is to it, and like I said, I did a second one over here. The second one went a lot faster. It had been a while since I did one, so I was kind of remembering. So, and this same system does really well for my blackberries over there. It keeps them off the ground, my blackberries and everything, so I don't have any issues. So I don't think I'll have too much trouble with the grapes over time when I move out of here and go out to hopefully a farm or at least some more acreage. Maybe I'll put a more permanent structure using 4x4 posts and things like that to do an even bigger and better job. Okay, so moving on, there's some things going on good and some things not, but of course that's what happens in every garden. I have my watermelon growing over here, and they finally greened up and doing real nice, and I put 3 plants in here, probably more than I need. I might thin this down to 2. I can take the best 2. I put a couple sunflowers in here. My wife likes sunflowers and whatnot, so I think only one seed germinated. So then we come over here, and in the back, left, middle, and right, I have my tomato plants. I believe the one on, I can't remember which ones are which, but I'll know once they grow, because One's sort of it's called Big Red, and it's kind of like a beefsteak, so it's going to be pretty big. And the other two are Boxcar Willies, and they're kind of a medium-sized tomato. So, you know, that'll work itself out. So I don't remember anymore. In the middle there is my volunteer oregano, and then I have bell peppers in here that are finally starting to do a little bit better now that we're getting some warmth and getting some sunshine. I already have peppers growing on those, but they've been there for a little while. And I couldn't help myself when I was at the store a couple weeks ago. Saw some Armenian cucumbers, and my wife loves cucumbers, and my daughter loves cucumbers. And I'm okay with them. But these really, these are huge. They grow huge cucumbers, and you can eat. You don't even have to peel the skin off of these. They're so good. So I crammed them in here next to a pepper plant, one right in the middle, 2 pepper plants. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm trying green beans out again. As you can see, a couple of these were transplanted, and some were directly sown. And it seems like what I find that seems to be working best is the directly sown seeds. They seem to be doing a bit better than the ones that were grown under grow lights and then transplanted out. And these are Bush variety green bean. These are Landreth stringless green beans. So that's trying my hand at that this year. I harvested 2 beans off of one of the plants. Woohoo! They say the more you pick them, the more they grow. So, okay, so moving on. Here's a couple sunflower plants in there. We're right in the middle of the spinach plant that has really taken off. It was the only halfway decent spinach plant I was able to grow, and when I transplanted it out here, you know, it just really flourished. Strawberry plants in here. Now I wasn't expecting, you know, any strawberries this year, but I'm getting a few. Thing is I got to cover them up because critters during the night seem to be coming in here and getting them. But these were all started off as bare root back in late February, and I got about maybe 45 out of 50 plants to grow from a bare root. So that's pretty good, and they're filling in and they're sending out runners, and so that's all filling in here. I have a goji berry plant in that pot there, and a goji berry plant in this pot here. These are recovering from being nibbled on during the winter, so they're trying to fight and make a comeback. Don't know if I'm going to get anything out of them this year. Over here is my other goji berry plant, and it does not look good at all. We've had quite a bit of rain. Sorry for the air conditioning being on. We've had quite a bit of rain, and I don't know for sure, but I think goji berries kind of like to be a little bit more on the dry side. You can see the leaves are kind of all yellowy and just does not look healthy. Though I would say got a couple shoots coming out that are brand new growth that are definitely a little more green, and but it's sorry, but they're not. Doesn't look so hot right now. But we'll see when it gets more heat and, you know, tends to dry out a little bit more. Okay, so over here, I guess I'll show you my pride and joy of this year so far, are my onions. Now, these are some decent size. I'm trying to get my big head out of the way. These are some decent size onions. You know, not everything is great, but, you know, they're really doing good. You go back in here. This is a nice, flat, good size grocery store kind of size that you'd find. You know, nice, big, good onions. And again, if you want to grow onions, you want some good ones. I mean, first you need to get good seed, but start them in late summer, early fall. Put them in your garden, let them overwinter, and you will get bigger onions and things like that, and bigger leeks for sure. Here is my Awari Matsuma orange tree that's taken a beating. This is my second try at it, and it's fighting for dear life, I guess. you know, it got hit by some frost and lost all its fruit and lost some of its leaves, so it's kind of still looks like a skeleton a little bit. So hopefully it's going to make a comeback and go through that. So you can see more of my onions. I mean, look at the size of this. I mean, it's like really nice and big. And I'm waiting for the tops to fall, about 80% of the tops to fall before I harvest them. This is probably where I'll be growing my 1 or 2 pumpkin plants this year. I'm having to downsize, you know, trying to slowly get ready to hopefully move out of here in the next year or two. And ooh, look at that tomato's getting red in there. Oh, that means the birds will be coming soon. What am I going to do to protect that one? Oh, look at that, came right off of my hand. I barely touched it, fell right off. Well, that'll finish ripening. That's real nice. There you go. That was an unexpected surprise. Got a couple more of the tomato plants. I got to do some pruning on these to get those low leaves off the ground. Coming over here to my apple trees, I've had some disease called fire blight in here. Don't know if it's completely all gone, but yeah. Let's see, this is my Fuji apple tree, and this is the one that has the fire blight in it. And I had to do some major pruning to cut some of the stuff out and everything. Let's see how those apples are doing. You can see a little apple growing right here. And okay. I'm down to 2 apples here. I wonder what happened. Some critter came and got something. I had 4, and I took 1 off to thin it down a little bit. Now I had 3, and now I'm down to 2. I'm not sure. That's news to me. Okay, so maybe it fell on the ground. I don't know. Some hungry critter came and got it. Maybe I just need to protect them with some kind of makeshift little bag or something, or I don't know, a little net. Anyhow, ooh. I have a Jonathan apple tree. That's a new addition. It doesn't look all that great, but you know, hopefully it'll start getting itself nursed back to health. It's got a few apples growing on it when I got it from the nursery, so it was flowering, so I picked it up, and it seems to be okay. It's not the greatest shape, but and over here, of course, is my Honeycrisp. Seems to be doing healthier this year than last year. No apples this year, maybe next year. And then I'll take you over here and show you the other big plus this year, and that's my blueberries. They're doing pretty good. A lot of them got pollinated. And I actually did eat a couple of them off the bush the other day. I found it, and they kind of just fell right into my hands. But you can see some of the blueberries there, and they're not ready yet, but I might want to start to cover these, protect them, and pull the net down to protect them from critters and things like that. Birds. Now the last thing is my blackberries, and that's not so hot this year for whatever reason. The blooms were okay. 2 of my bushes, the no-chest varieties, they bloomed like crazy, but hardly anything got pollinated. Hardly any one of them at all. And then another variety here, still you can see a few flowers on them. They bloomed better for the first time ever, and you know, they seem to be getting pollinated a little bit more than the other ones. So blackberries are not doing all that great this year. Not sure why, but it is what it is. Okay, so that's what's growing on out here, and so thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions and whatnot, I appreciate it, and if you have any comments, leave them down below. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great one. Bye.